Alright, so today we're going to go over 10 base locations that your tribe can be alpha in Ark Survival Ascended. Now, all 10 of these spots right now are good because of the meta, because right now there is no cryopods, and right now it's only the island. If they do bring back cryopods, this meta will change. But for right now, these 10 spots are by far the best spots to build if you want to become alpha. Now, whenever I tell you the 10 spots, these are in no particular order. No particular order. They're all good. Decide which one you want to build in. If you do disagree with me, please comment down below. Let the community know what you do not like. If one of these spots you hate, leave it in the comments down below. Everyone will go down there and see it. All right, so let's get into the 10 spots. Spot number 1 is going to be Twin Pillar. Okay, so this spot was changed from Ark Survival Evolved to ASA. It was changed a little bit, but this still is a decent spot. I would classify this spot as an early to mid game. You can use this spot as late game, but late game more the caves or the meta. I would classify this spot as more early to mid game. What makes this spot really strong in the beginning? No land access. None. Zero. I'm gonna leave the coordinates to all 10 base locations down in the description down below. If you don't know where they are, go down in the description, look for it, they'll be there. All right, so let's get into our second one. The second one's gonna be Carnivore Island / Carnival Cave. You have to be able to use the cave and the island together. That's what will make this base location so good. In order for the enemies to get their dinos over to Carnivore Island, they either have to put them on a raft, swim them, or flyer carry them. You could put towers all the way around the island. Now, as far as the cave goes, the cave is pretty much the same. You got this long stretch, and then the body of water is what makes this cave really strong. The hardest part whenever you're raiding this is being able to get a dino in here. Now, the cave did change a little bit. They added this pillar, so it is a tiny bit of a nerf, but you can still put 2 turret walls right here and defend this choke point. But the rest of the cave is pretty much the same. Use the island and the cave together to make this base location strong. All right, so the third base location is going to be the ICEBERG Island. Now, a lot of people believe you should not build here for the reason right now it's only the island. This is the only spot in the map where you can go and kill penguins and get a lot of organic polymer. However, there is penguins around the map. This island was known for organic polymer. If you need the polymer, do not build here, but it is a good strong base location. You can put your main base up here and also use the tip of the iceberg as a main base and put your dinos around. They did put a wall here to where you can always see your enemy and your turrets will have line of sight of them. My recommendation is this is a really good base spot, but I would not build here just for the organic polymer. So the fourth base location on our list, this is again an early to mid base location. By no means, if you are late game, do not build here. It's the snow land bridge right here. 1 choke point, right? Easy to defend. Once you get late game and these tribes start to get really good lines of soakers, this will not be a good base spot. But for right now, for a beginner, if you're starting out, this will be a good base spot. 1 choke point. All right, so for the 5th base location, this will be the underwater cave. Artifact of the Brute is in this underwater cave. If you go down from here, it's right here. Now, this base location is very strong. It has a lot of choke points, and it does have drops in it to where you can get a lot of BPs. Now, this cave was an alpha spot in the first arc. It will be an alpha spot in this arc. But if you make your way up here, this is the first choke point right here. You can put turret walls right here, turret walls right here. This will be very hard to defend for one reason. Not a lot of tribes prioritize water teams. That's why this spot is so good. So you're going to have people that attack you, but it's going to be harder for them if they only have land teams. And then in the back here, there's an open spot back here. You could put all your dinos, breeding areas, make a floor above the water. This is a very good base location, alpha base location. This base location will by far be used in every server that you come on. But the only requirement, if you do build here, you do need access to the teleporters. Getting dinos up and down, getting items up and down, it's just going to be way too difficult. Make sure you have the teleporters before you build a base in here. So for the 6th base location, it is top of volcano. So there is a lot of debate with this base location. A lot of people are saying do not build here for one reason. So your structures will take more than actual cave damage. In a cave, you are 6 times damage, but in this spot, it's like 8 to 10. I don't exactly know what the actual damage is, but this spot, you do have high elevation. It's going to be very hard for them to get their soakers up here to soak your turrets. There's metal, there's one way up. You could put turret towers all throughout here, but the con is you cannot build down here. Near the ascension is blocked off. You can't put any foundations, you can't do anything. But if you spam all this off and put your main base up here, This will be an actual decent base location. All right, so for the 7th base location, we have Pack Cave. So Pack Cave was used in the first arc, but not like heavily. Right now in ASA, this is probably one of the strongest base locations for this one reason. So the entrance of this cave is actually decently small, and the line of sight that you have right here is insane. If you put turrets in the back here with movement speed being maxed out at 100 and there being no cryopods, this will actually be pretty hard to run. And they did patch the grapple glitch. If you put turrets here and have a line of sight at the entrance, this cave would be hard to run. Now for the rest of the Pack Cave, it didn't really change that much. Put a wall of turrets here, put a wall of turrets here. The rest of it's pretty much the same. There's not much change to it, but the line of sight is really what makes this cave viable on the Alpha Tribe. So base location 8, this one is like really hot topic right now. So this is Lava Cave. So in the first arc, this base location was never used. I never saw a tribe ever build in here. So for the entrance of the cave, I don't really think a stego would fit through here. So if you could put turrets all the way back here and have them on high range, this cave would be very difficult to raid. Put a wall of turrets right here. You can at least put 15 right here, all pointed toward the entrance, and you can't really soak from the outside. But the rest of this cave has a lot of choke points, and it's a windy cave all the way down. I think arguably this cave will be the best cave in Ark now. It just goes far. Like you could put a turret wall here, it just keeps going. And then you got all these. You could put turret wall here, turret tower here, and it would just be so difficult to get to. You would literally have to soak every single turret. But the cave is really good. This cave will definitely be taken on your server without a doubt. All right, on to number 9. So for base location number 9, we're going with the Hunter Cave. By far, a lot of people are going to contest this spot. It's in the south. It's easy to get to. You can block it off very easy. It does have a small entrance again, but I think this cave is a little bit worse than the others. My personal opinion, I think Lava Cave outdoes this in every way. But there is one flaw with this cave. If you keep going to the bottom, the cave actually branches off into 2 separate spots. So right here, you could either go that way or that way. Okay, but it makes one big circle, so they connect to each other at the artifact. But if the enemies get here, you now have 2 ways to defend from, and they could go either way. So if this side's weaker than this side, it's an easy wipe. That's why I don't think this cave is as good as the other ones. But overall, do I think it's a top 10? Yeah. But I just think the circle at the end is quite a bit of a nerf, and there's other better base locations that you could build at. All right, so last but not least, this is number 10. This is Ice Cave. So this was the top of the top tier spot in Ark Survival Evolved. Everyone built here. This was the best spot for one reason and one reason only. There was a crouch. However, they did remove the crouch in Ark Survival Ascended. This cave is not as strong as it used to be. In ASA, they widened the cave, they made it bigger, easier to get in, and they removed the crouch completely. This cave is still really good. It's still top 10. You can hold this corner right here, grapple them, and you can keep peeking them, and have turret wall set up still right here. The way it's always been, you had your turret wall set right here. They just removed the crouch. It is harder to defend, but it is still top 10. The rest of Ice Cave didn't really change. This was the biggest change right here. All right, with that being said, that's all 10 base locations. If you agree, you disagree, leave them in the comments down below. Tell us where you're going to be building. If you learned something from the video, leave a like, subscribe down below for more Ark Survival Ascended videos, and we'll see you in the next one.